it's an even lane, and if you get support from a jungler, then you can turn it, but nobody really just straight out crushes him.
Okay, so it's going to be interesting because right now with Velocity on blue side, we saw from the last series that Twisted Fate was the 6th ban both times, that every team was so afraid of TF blue side as a first pick. I want to see if this is actually the case here. I know eHamda runs the champion. I know Vile Rose runs the champion. So, I mean, we'll see if they go for it.
It's probably going to be, you know, either picked or banned. We've seen it pretty much around the entire world, globally, if you will, TF being banned or picked almost every single game. It looks like they're going to leave him up, though, and they immediately lock in that Zed for the split pushing power, and there's the assassination potential.
Okay, so Zed has been grabbed right there. You see that on Velocity's blue side. I guess we've seen it top jungle and mid overall, so we'll see where it slots in throughout the game as Champs League progresses. But with 35 seconds left, it's now the Salad Bar's turn to make their choices. And there's a lot of really big picks open so far. You know, again, we talked about Twisted Fate that's being looked at right now for the mid lane. They've got to kind of whittle their time down to figure out what their 2 picks are going to be.
So we also have not talked about Shen. Since we know, you know, here's Shen. He's a tank player who likes to go with team fight oriented plays. That would actually complement him really well. Plus, well, tough break for him. He's not going to be able to get the chance.
The Shen was grabbed, and that was one of the fastest insta-locks I've ever seen for Draven. So Maple Street, I don't think we talked about it quite, but yeah, the Draven for Maple Street, man, that's in there.
Yeah, so we said, you know, this is like Wild Turtle, one of the characters that really got him fame in the beginning, because Draven is such an, you know, he has so much flair when you play the game, and it's just really impressive if you see a good Draven player. It's nice to see him go back to his roots.
Well, the next 2 picks are being considered here for the Salad Bar. They need a jungler, so they need an AD carry. Of course, they've got the support shown. And interestingly, they're happy to play Draven up against threats. They're going to lock in Xin Zhao and Varus.
That's a pretty interesting combo there, because Varus is a CC-heavy AD carry, which is pretty rare, and that's one of the reasons that he's very popular. Meanwhile, Xin Zhao is that early ganking potential. We said, you know, the combo between him and Ghost Zero is always about mid lane aggression plus early jungle ganks. Xin Zhao is perfect because gold card stun will set up the third 3 talent strike hit for that knockup just perfectly, and you could destroy mid laners. We actually saw TSM use that exact same combo against GGU back when GGU first got Jinte as their mid laner. So they're really trying to pick on that fresh new mid laner.
All right,
the exact same combo. Wow.
Exact same combo. I do actually fear for Varus a little bit right here on his Zed. Right now, it's the last pick here for the Salad Bar. Of course, Velocity have locked in their full lineup. Support Zyra, Jungle Hecarim. Guess Shen will be top and Zed in the mid lane.
Yes, and those double ninja combos we've seen be so potent. If Zed, who is an all-in AD assassin, just waits for his ninja brother to get level 6 as well, and they combo those, it's a great, you know, dive buddy system. The ninja dive buddies is one of the most potent dive buddy combos that you can have in this game.
Well, it seems to counter the Ninja Dive Buddy is a ninja of their own. The Salad Bar have locked in Kennen for their final grab. So top lane Kennen, we're going to see that again here, actually. Balls had run it from Quantic in the prior series, but here it is that jungle Xin Zhao. It's the mid Twisted Fate and the top Kennen.
So some very balanced teams here. You know, we see them trying to answer each other pick for pick. A little global here, a little global there. We bring in some AoE for the team fighting potential as well. And then you always have Thresh for the picks here on the Salad Bar. But pretty much Hecarim does a similar thing because he's so fast. You can pick out people just by running over to them and charging them back to your team. A nice strategy is to use your Hecarim ultimate into the middle of the team to spread people out. With that Terrify, it's not a fear, it's a Terrify, so everyone runs away, and then you can charge one person back into the rest of your team and isolate them.
So when they look for that Hecarim charge, look to dive in. Who are they going to target here on the Salad Bar lineup?
Well, you always want to get that Twisted Fate before he has Zhonya's, and once he has Zhonya's, then you go out to switch it up, and you have to get your the AD carry here, because Varus has no escape of his own built into his champion kit. He's very immobile, so if you can grab him, he's good second option.
So speaking of Zhonya's, I have one more question on you before we get into the game. Both Twisted Fate and Kennen tend to buy Zhonya's as a core item, and they're facing a Zed. Do you think that was even a conscious choice, or just a comp they wanted anyway?
It seems like a really good answer, as it was their second solo laner pick. Since it's a very AD-heavy Velocity team here, not only that Zed, but Draven is just all about auto attacks. So it's a pretty good choice here. I don't know if they thought that closely about it, that they were like, yes, we can both start out with arm guards and just win the lanes against Zed. But we'll give them credit for it.
We'll give them credit. Guys, we are here into the game. The blue team is Velocity Esports. The red is the Salad Bar coming up from normal queue in ranked 5s. We're here into game 1 of this best of 3. The winner moves on to face Marn in a best of 5 to join the LCS. So we're going to start this one out right here.
All right, so we have one red elixir coming out this time, and it's on eHamda, the Twisted Fate. This is even with the increase in price in that elixir. So very, very unusual build, even before the nerf to the red elixirs here for eHamda. He's gone red elixir and 3 pots for that early aggression we talked about in the mid lane. So he's not going to disappoint us.
He is not indeed, of course, just always his ham lineup here. So we look at the teams moving out, and right now it looks like a little bit of aggression maybe starting out here as they're all on the same side of the map. A lot of early wards coming out on the top side and a lot of bodies in the bottom half.
Yeah, look at that straight line all the way down the map here for Velocity. Blue side is perfectly warded up. They will see any invades here, as we do see one kicking off here with Salad Bar coming in, gold card ready.
Yeah, they do walk right through a ward as they do that, though. They ward the Wraiths, and they back right off. Now, I talked to Dyrus a little bit about the early ward starts, and he said basically like an early Wraith ward basically lets you know which buff your opponent's starting at, because if they start Wraiths, you know they're starting red. They know they're going blue. If they wanted to invade it, they'd be able to. Yeah,
Wraith ward, one of the most important wards, and that's why you see the pink ward coming down so quickly from Velocity to clear that one out. They've cleared the only deep ward that Salad Bar had. So this is going to give their jungler, NK Inc., complete anonymity.
All right, that's going to be nice for him, of course. Anonymity was supposed to be the Salad Bar's opening here, but it seems that Velocity wants to police that a little bit themselves. Ghost Zero grabbing the red buff for himself, while NK Inc. is getting help from Chris to grab blue. So both junglers starting on the same side of the map, but with different buffs.
Interesting little switch up too. We're going to have the ninjas head up top, both solo laners. So we're going to see, you know, the very rare 2 versus 2 bottom lane here, and it's going to be against the Draven. So we'll usually see the aggression coming out pretty early.
It happens indeed. The hook comes across. Maple Street still wants to fight DK Beta. They're flashing forward. Exhausted Ignite comes off. Oh my gosh, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. First blood already grabbed. Maple Street phoning home for that one.
And you can see the experience Maple Street has with Draven. He backed off that kill. He was like, yep, the bleed from my Q plus Ignite is going to kill you. And he already turned his focus over to that Thresh because he knew that guy was going to drop. Good first blood.
Very, very beautiful start right here. Of course, we were watching the mid lane as Zed fights on against TF. So far, pretty equal. Both junglers have grabbed their double buff. So, Kobe, where do you move now if you're a double buff jungler?
NK Inc., you can see he's circling around to put some pressure back onto eHamda as he's shoving up this mid lane here. The junglers are actually going to find themselves, both of them, and NK Inc. goes for a run.
He does get stunned, but he doesn't get the knockback there. Valros is not really going for this one. Actually jumps back with the Shadow Clone. Ghost Zero almost put some pressure in, but he is also in a back off, so nothing much has happened here.
So Ghost for NK Inc. down, but also Flash for Ghost Zero. That's really big because Flash has a longer cooldown, and he's the one who actually wants to have the upper hand in ganks, focused on that mid lane. Now, NK Inc. really beat him to the punch. The only problem is, oh, that Warden Tribush just runs out before NK Inc. gets there, so this is the perfect time for him to gank.
He does have the charge available. He's looking for Hirishin coming around the back. He's going to jump into the brush, try to buy some time, and look at that, gets right behind NK Inc. and gets pushed towards his turret instead. Lands a stun and then walks back into lane knowing NK Inc. is there. His Sin Jazz coming for the counter gank.
You can see the reason that Kennen was such a popular solo top laner even back in Season 1 and 2 is because of that Lightning Rush. It's just a great escape, and there was really nothing NK Inc. could do there. Xin Zhao deciding that the lane's too far pushed, so he backs off as well, and it looks like we might see those junglers fight again or turn their attention to the mid.
He is looking for that mid lane. eHamda does have the gold card there, but with Valros underneath his turret, it looks like there will not be a push, but we called it early on. Ghost Zero definitely likes to shake hands with eHamda a lot, but does not quite find an opponent to kill. So instead, they're just going to farm themselves back and forth. Actually, TF already uses Red Elixir.
Yeah, and they made, both junglers, you like said, they've made a lot of gank attempts. Nothing successful here. The first blood was completely unassisted, and it was all Maple Street, excuse me, down in that bottom.
Okay, so we're looking at this bottom lane here. You can see Evaniscus and Maple really zoning out the opposition. I mean, look at the minion kills, 31 to 17, not even counting the kill score. That is a very, very different number right there. But you're seeing that Ghost Zero is waiting, looking for a gank here at the bottom half. If Arc wants to pull him in with a Lantern, he could.
This is why a lot of people don't like to do duo lanes versus Draven, especially on that blue side, because once he gets that early advantage on you, he can shove you in this lane and just make it so hard for you to CS. Missing that CS is even more important than the gold for dying.
That is pretty brutal right here. You're seeing now the spinning axis still coming across, dealing damage to Arc and BNet, but Maple backs off because, hey, there's a turret in the way, you don't want to get hooked. NK Inc. is looking for another gank. Ooh, Flash is burned actually in the mid lane. Valorose had to run away from Hamda. So the early aggression from Twisted Fate has paid off, at least in that case, and here comes Ghost Zero.
You can see the ward potential here in the mid. They're fighting over it for so long. Everyone keeps bringing pink wards back to make sure that they have the upper hand on the mid lane ganks, but still, none have been successful, and the war of attrition goes on.
So right now, with this mid lane being blinded, Hamda is still trying to zone out Valorose, and you're seeing that actually right here. He's forced to use his W and then use a spinning slash just to try to last hit minions. Valorose, he started out so strong, he's even still up 10 minions, but it's looking better for Twisted Fate now.
You have to remember, though, that Twisted Fate used a red elixir start, and that's a 350 red elixir. So Valorose, with that CS lead and the red elixir now running out, huge win here, even though they weren't able to get a kill.
Okay, Ghost Zero, though, he's still looking for a win himself. He's thrown back up to the mid lane, just trying to find something, but of course he's now on top of a ward. They know about that, and of course he won't find a gank for himself. More pink wards have just been coming across overall. So we're about 7 minutes into the game. You're seeing a 700 gold lead here for Velocity Esports. That early first blood from Maple Street in lane. If you missed it, it was awesome. Pearson and Chris, I mean, it was just great. He just like threw acted that. I mean, he fell over like right at level 1. It was a great play. But instead now, just the lanes have, I mean, we've seen the junglers look for ganks and just not quite find them.
Yeah, and the vision control really has swung over to Salad Bar, and since they have a post-level 6 Twisted Fate, that's a very dangerous thing, because not only do you want vision in the mid lane for people ganking towards the mid, but you need vision in the mid lane to know where Twisted Fate is going, because Twisted Fate can gank either top or bottom in the blink of an eye here, and when you're on aggressive champion like Draven, Twisted Fate is a perfect one to make you pay for that, for overextending.
So for Twisted Fate, do you think he's going to that bottom lane to punish Draven, or where is he going to head to?
That's why he's got this pink ward on the bottom side, and they wanted to make sure to clear out Velocity's vision on the bottom side. So once Maple Street does go aggressive again, they're going to look to make him pay, because he is just crushing this bottom lane here. He's gone back and got that BF sword, so now he's going to be able to kill Varus very quickly, and they have to play it very safe now.
Okay, so speaking of the global game, what about Chris here on Shen in the top lane? Because you've got Hamda on Twisted Fate, but on the other team you do have a Shen as well. Does that balance out, or who gets the lead here?
You're going to have to pay attention to the lightning procs here from Kennen, because he is able to stun you if you are too close to him and interrupt your Shen ultimate, so you can bait your own team, and you end up, only get this purple shield, and you wait your 2 seconds, and you're, oh, where's my ninja, though? There's no backup coming, and you're all on your own. Could backfire on them.
We'll see if that ends up being the case. It's going to be on Hirish and then just stop down onto Chris. Right now you're seeing him push. We haven't looked at this lane very much, but if you look at the top lane, it's 60 to 60 in minions. Both have backed once by this point, and they're just holding completely even. The only lane doing that at all.
Ninjas, looks like Ninjas are on equal footing here. And the only thing is we have a rejuvenation bead for Kennen, not quite optimal. A little bit of action coming in mid here. But again, the ward coverage
it's the bottom lane actually. Oh my gosh, DK BNet forced a barrier out. The auto hex coming through. Will Ignite take just enough? No, the shield saves him. And there comes Hamda onto Evaniscus. A lot of damage there. The roots coming across. Hamda picked up the kill onto Evaniscus. There is one picked up. And can they get away from this one in time? RC/recalls. Chris still in a battle. Oh my gosh, the Draven damage output. Can Twisted Fate run? He locks the gold card, stuns Chris, runs away. Chris has flash. No, not going to go for it.
So a lot burned for Salad here, and everybody just barely getting out. But because the jungler showed up, they were able to get an extra kill. Meanwhile, Velocity's jungle, NK Inc. going towards mid, and they take the surefire gold with that extra tower kill to get them the global. And now they're going to move on Dragon here. They have it pink warded, but don't feel that there's enough time before the rest of Salad head back.
They are heading back, but Hirshin in the top lane, though. You talked about that mid lane turret, that surefire gold getting answered. Hirshin's looking for this top lane turret right here, and it's down so low right now, only at 513 health. However, Velocity, they've sent their duo lane to the top lane to keep that turret alive.
Yeah, so that they burned the Shen ultimate already, so they know that they're not going to have the same global chance to counter a Twisted Fate now, and they want to get that aggression up in the top lane. Try and shove it before Salad are able to switch back. Salad taking this opportunity with the pink ward at Dragon to try and take it.
So it's going to be a 4-on-3 if they can do it, actually, with Kennen back in the base. Of course, it is still just 4 of them. You have Hecarim coming nearby. They're going to look for a stun right here. He's looking for the steal. Goes in and goes 0. Look at the damage onto him. The ult comes out from Zed as well. Hamda taking a bunch of punishment, getting knocked back. Goes 0, going to fall over. There's a kill picked up for Virals. Hamda falls over. 2 for 1 so far. The box comes out, and they're still going to push in for damage. NK Inc. getting slowed down, and DK BNet finds a double kill. Now it's Chris getting hit by a Flay, trying to run away. Can he get over the wall in time? Taking more damage. Oh, the threshold keeps him locked up. They're still trying to find damage. Chris finally jumps over the wall, but DK BNet flashes. He's chasing him down. He has the red buff. Can he put out the damage? The ult comes across as well. That's going to be enough damage. 4-3 in kills now for the Salad And
that is trying to fight a 4 versus 5 here. Well, actually it was not. It was a 3 versus 4 because we had the duo lane there up top, and they paid for it. You know, they got the first kill there. They were hoping that Dragon would put out enough damage to make up for the other person missing. And Velocity, they just take that trade, the Dragon for the top turret, but they also come out behind in the kills.
You are right about that one. The Dragon for the top turret, indeed. So you look at the turret score, and it is 2-0 for Velocity. They have pushed the map a little bit better overall, but they're down a Dragon, they're down in kills, and yet even still, they are winning in gold because of the turrets.
And they've really been able to make Twisted Fate not have as big of an impact on this game as he wanted to. First with all the early wards, and then with the one Shen counter gank. Now that the turrets are going down, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to use that gold presence. They're going to make a nice invade here on the blue side because they were protected by their pink ward and know that there's no vision from Salad
Oh, BNet, you are so incredibly dead, and Maple Street finds the kill. He is 2-0 with 107 minions. He is by far the richest man in this game.
The all-important pink wards. They know you don't have vision of us, and we go take advantage. A free kill means a free turret, and that's going to be every single outer turret down for Salad now. You have to worry about not only split pushing from Shen, but also Zed. Everyone talks about how amazing Zed is at split pushing because of his 1v1 potential and his wave clear. He doesn't even have to have that global to join the rest of the team that Shen does.
That is going to be a powerful thing for them. You're seeing Velocity Esports now trying to reset around the map. Chris has his ultimate back available, holding that top lane. Was holding it against Hamda a little while ago and forced a Twisted Fate back. And they're basically just kind of holding on right now.
Yep, Velocity are fine. They've got their global pressure back. They feel like the Shen coming in is going to be even more impressive than a Hamda gank here on Twisted Fate, because whoever Hamda does catch is just going to get that nice big Shen shield on top of them, and they are just going to continue to use the map pressure that they have awarded to start putting their wards even deeper. You see the first one going in on the red side jungle there. As Jin Xiao takes his double buff, or his red buff.
So let's take a look at these jungles actually, and their items really, because they're building in really different ways. So NK Inc. on Hecarim has gone for the fast Spirit of the Elder Lizard, whereas you're seeing Madrid's Razors for Ghost Zero.
Yeah, the Spirit of the Elder Lizard was the most popular item as when Hecarim was really in his heyday. Everybody just loved that thing so much because the true damage will proc off all of his abilities in an AoE, and since he's such a tanky, sustainy jungler, he can be in the middle of your whole team and just get everybody burning down. It's just a very cost-efficient item, and it gives Hecarim really the stats that he wants. Cooldown reduction, definitely one of the most important things for him as well. Meanwhile, Xin Zhao always very auto-attack base. He wants to get the procs here from the Madreds. So very normal choices here from both of the junglers. And we also see double Seeker's Arm Guards, like you're talking about, coming out from the solo laners here of Salad Bar, trying to protect themselves from the assassination attempts of that Zed.
Well, you see Hirishin up against Chris in the top lane, and apparently he's not very afraid of Shen whatsoever because he's happy to put out some damage. You're seeing 109 to 99, but NK Inc. looking to put out a little bit of punishment. Thing is, he's running through a ward, so he's going to get spotted looking for that gank.
And the ward's just even more important now that there's no outer turrets for Salad Bar, and all the outer turrets are still up for Velocity. Some of them are pretty low, but low doesn't matter. Imagine if they're down. Here comes the Shen combo.
Oh my gosh, a beautiful flash, but here comes the rest of the team. The pull comes in, but Ghost Zero is suddenly alone in the middle of the enemy team. Knocks Chris over a wall, but NK is forced to run away. Ghost Zero's still alive. Are you serious right now? And here comes the rest of the gang. Hamda has shown up. Vile Rose very, very low. Hirishin finds the kill. Now Chris running away. Oh, the Blade knocks him back, and look at that. 3 kills for nothing, and Ghost Zero lived.
You have to be a little disappointed in NK Inc. for that one, because you know you're going down and he's running like a little wussy here. He should have just turned back around. One auto attack would have finished off Ghost Zero, but he lets him live, tries to get out, and he just dies looking like a coward.
Oh, the Draven ult comes across. He's going to drop some of these minions down at least. But the middle turret does go down, so one has finally been picked up here for the Salad Bar. However, Velocity have now taken the second right-hand side turret.
Drill Sergeant making his way through the secondary turret here, and Ghost Zero trying to keep them in vision, so it's going to be a very dangerous escape here for Maple Street and Evaniscus.
Now they are going to try to run away. Hamda is there, but does not have the ultimate. So he's looking for it. Stand aside comes across. Flash from Evaniscus. But here comes the rest of the team. Hirishin, DK BNet, they're all here. He's going to go. He jumps on in, looks for the stuns here. Evaniscus gets a couple of knockouts. But here comes NK Inc. Can they fire this one back? The Flay comes across. They flash forward onto Evaniscus. That's going to be a Zyra going down. Now another kill picked up. 2 for nothing so far. And the Salad Bar just running back away from this one with a couple of free kills.
NK Inc. trying to make up for that last play. Sacrifices his life valiantly for his teammate there. But it was to no avail. He goes down. That's 2 free kills. And we saw the reason that both Maple Street and Evaniscus got caught there is that they ran really the outer path. Whenever you're racing, you want to take the inside path if you're trying to pass somebody. It's a bit longer, so they stayed on the outside trying to hug the bushes and stuff. But if you are going for the pass and you want to go the inside route here, take them on the turn, and both of them do end up getting caught. That's 2 kills added on to the Salad Bar.
That is good for them overall. So I have a question though. So was that a big racing pun because of the team name being Velocity? Because I'm a fan of that one.
You ruined it just a little bit. It was.
I just had to. It was so good. I had to call it out just in case people didn't catch it.
Okay.
I know I did ruin it somewhat.
Thank you, then.
I wanted to make sure. Also, when you said heyday for Hecarim.
Yeah, I love you, freak.
I love you too. All right, we're going to move on. I'm sorry for ruining your jokes. But Velocity Esports, they do have a pink ward here over at the Dragon Pit. They are ready to control this one. And the thing is, they're actually still up 1,000 gold because of all this. Velocity are technically winning this game, though the scoreboard might not show it all the way. They're trying to close one down. The plants come out from Evaniscus. They're trying to get rid of the wards. The Salad Bar are completely grouped up here. Hamda is actually just pushing the mid lane in the meantime. Of course, he does have Destiny available, but Chris does not have Stand United.
No, but it looks like Chris trying to initiate here, and he gets stunned up by Hirishin, so he's not going to be able to get off a good taunt, and they have Draven pretty far behind the team fight.
He gets the taunt up onto Hirishin. Here comes NK as well. So much damage coming across. Here comes Hamda into the middle. Fyro's taking so much damage. He's going to go down. DK BNet getting soloed by NK Inc. Will he get enough help from RC Slash? He does. That's DK BNet finding another kill, and now it's Chris trying to run away. The roots come across. A lot of damage. Here comes Maple Street. Can he clean up this battle? It's not looking great for him. He finds BNet. Can he get more? He gets 2. Can he get Hirishin? He's trying. He gets stunned. Shadow comes across. He's still alive. Evaniscus falls down as a triple kill so far. Hamda looks for Chris. Can he get the damage? He does. There's only one member alive here for Velocity Esports, and that is from Maple Street. And he's going to make like a tree and leaf.
That was a great disengage from Salad Bar. They were able to hold off the engage of Chris just long enough so that the distance that Maple Street had to run to that fight made them win here, because Maple Street, you saw once he finally arrived, he was able to pick up kills, clean house, but because Chris trying to start that fight before they had the Draven there, they paid for it. Now Vile Rose going on a little chase here.
Did not have the slow, unfortunately, nor his ultimate. Could not quite land the slow there. And of course, Flame missed. So Vile Rose left to try to sweep up now in the mid lane. You can see still, and this is the thing that boggles my mind, because we're seeing the fights go to the Salad Bar every time now, right? 13-7. Velocity are still up 1,000 gold.
They're playing the objective game here, and you can see they're not hesitating at all. Even though they lost that last team fight, they're not phased by it. They're going to go right back there, take the dragon, that's free gold, and they don't have bounties on their heads. So that's actually a big thing. Because Salad Bar are getting all the kills, they're actually gonna rack up these bounties that if Velocity do end up taking them down, then they'll start to pull even further ahead in gold.
That is going to be an important thing for them. So let's see if they can ever turn one of these team fights around as DKBnet just takes away the race here in the jungle. So you talk about bounties and getting the kills and trying to catch themselves back up. For Velocity, how do they actually start winning team fights then?
The problem is that we have 2 Zhonya's now completed here for Salad Bar. So it's going to get a lot more tricky for Velocity. The main thing is they want to have their coordinated team fight engages because like we said last time, Chris was a little bit too far out in front there. Maple Street was still farming bottom and had to run a whiles up, so they were missing out on a lot of damage output for the beginning of that fight. So if you're looking at Velocity, wow, he does. He got it with the piercing arrow there. Nice shot by DKBnet.
And of course, immediately they ping. The thing is, he pinged as though there's a ward in the brush, but it was actually way above it that the ward was actually there. It just had enough vision there. Anyway, good snipe. Maple Street gonna still try to hold on to this mid lane. Interesting thing is the entire game, they've actually given NK Inc. the blue buff, or tried to. Obviously, that one got stolen. But Valrose and Chris, neither one wants it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the ninjas. They use the energy. It's actually really strong on Zed, even though he does use energy and not mana, because Zed is one of those champions that the cooldowns are low enough on his abilities that you gain a large damage output with that blue buff from the energy regen and the cooldown reduction. So not a bad thing on him, but Hecarim loves it so much. Like we said in the beginning, the more that you can use that Spirit of the Dread, it just makes him so tanky later because he heals ridiculous amounts.
Okay, so the team looks like they're grouping up for something. You've got all of the Salad Bar now on the top side of the map. They've got oracles, they've got wards on Baron. They're starting to really try to strangle the map and sort of black out the fog of war from Velocity. Right now, you've got Velocity just trying to like shove their lanes out, and they're playing to their tune at this point. They're actually going on Chris.
Ooh, good dash away there from Chris, but he does get stunned up. Barely makes it over to his turret. This one is extremely low, so it could fall down now, and this could be the very first of the outer turrets to fall for Salad Bar here. They do end up getting it.
Yeah, they do. They get the top turret there to join the mid turret as there are only 2 kills so far.
There we go.
They did have the bot. Yeah, no. It's fine. I didn't mean to call you out or anything.
Number 2.
Number 2, indeed. Ihamda now pushing down the mid lane as well, but he's got to back off. There is a angry Zed nearby. You do not want to piss off Valrose. Chris going to get moved on a little bit. Destiny does come by. There's the gold card stun. Can they get enough damage across course? That is a very tanky Shen. Draven shows up and says, get away from my soldier. And this might just be enough. Actually, Maple Street cleanses off the gold card. He was afraid of Salad Bar jumping on him, but they didn't go for it.
That was a good idea by Salad Bar. Generally, you want to put the pressure on the champion with the global so that you can take away that surprise aspect. Only thing is, Chris, a tank here, and able to make a nice escape. Now we're going to have a 5-5.
They are going to start on by. There comes RC Slash on Evan as Zed comes in from the back as well. Look for DKB now on the back lines, but we're going to watch Maple Street right here trying to put out the damage and lifesteal through it. He's so low on health. He's been exhausted as well, but he just will not go down. Finally falls over. There's the bounty picked up, and we can see that 2 members versus 3 members have fallen so far, and TSB are still pushing down. Ihamda looking for a card right here. Locks the gold, finds Evan but Chris puts out so much damage. Zonya's off from the Shen. Will it be enough to keep him alive? DKBnet still very, very low. Chris tries to find one. He does. Now he's on a Hirish in a very, very tanky Shen, and the Salad Bar has to run away from Shen in a 3 versus 1.
Ooh, Ihamda, just so much cojones right there. Knows that he's holding that Zonya's in his pocket, goes in, and they're able to trade another one for it. So they do come out 1 kill ahead, but there's going to be Chris here who's actually going to have the map to himself now.
He is. Everyone else just runs away from him. Who needs a map? Apparently Chris does right here. So pushing up the top lane, Sunfire Cape and On Fire Ninja. Pretty happy about that one. And just shoving these lanes out. You're actually seeing the bottom lane actually has a bunch of minions shoved towards it as well. That was pushing down for a while. So Maple Street's running over there to try to clean that up soon.
It's dangerous to keep going bottom now, too, because it is the point in the game where killing Baron is a possibility for either team. And vision on that is going to be essential. You see the ward just timing out now for Velocity. The Baron's been blacked out for them, and the one that they do have in this river about to run out as well. So the entire top side of this map is no man's land for Velocity.
Okay, so that's going to be a rough thing for them. Maple Street, he finished shoving out the bottom lane. Looks like he's going to be leaving that spot very, very soon. Of course, again, the ward control is the important thing here. With pink wards revealing green wards and just trying to strangle out the map control. So the Salabar have been looking good for a while. Yet they're still down this like exactly 1,000 gold as it happened for like the last 20 minutes. But because it seems like they're winning, what move do they make to try to push this game over?
The Salabar, they want to try and catch someone out again. A good target would be having one person solo lane versus Chris, and then have eHamda teleport in on him once again. If they can actually lock that one down and burn down Chris, then that would be a huge win. Catching out the split pusher is always big. But like we said, Chris was the last man standing in that other team fight, so he is no pushover here. Looks like eHamda going to have some few friends join him down at this bottom turret, and they look to get that global gold back.
Well, the rest of the Salabar is actually moving down, looking to see if someone wants to stop eHamda. This turret's going to be there as Chris does not have his ultimate available, so it is a 5v4 for the next few seconds. TFO comes across. What's he going to go for?
Blue card locked!
Oh, wrong card. They just put some damage onto NK Inc. Ghost Zero goes in anyway. Put some damage onto Evaniscus. Almost lands the hook. Artsy Slash. Just going to miss that one, but they still push in towards the turret. Chris still pushing the top as well. Gold card locked this time, but does not quite find a champion to hit. You're seeing this turret
4 seconds left on Chris's ultimate here. If they do another engage down bottom, then he will be able to join. Also, we had a little happy trigger finger there from eHamda. He popped off his ultimate and instantly locked the blue card there. A little bit of a miscalculation, but they're going to try and grab the dragon.
So they're going to trade Dragon for their second upper turret right here, but NK Inc. wants to go in for a battle. Of course, they do have Chris to teleport if they want to. No, Velocity says, you know, we'll let you take that one away. Go ahead and kill the jungle off. We've gotten the turret. We'll take that trade. And Velocity, I mean, look at Chris. He's just inside their base now. Yeah, he's continuing to push. Now that they have no more vision, he's going to pull back out because they don't want to overextend at this point. They look for some good counter jungling here, but they do have AD and support missing. So this is a 3-man counter jungle here. If Salabar do get some information, then they could actually make them pay for this one. All right, now they won't just yet. They're just pushing down the mid lane. The red buff was stolen away, but here comes Hirishin finding NK Inc. on top of a ward. Can he get enough damage? Can he land the stun? No. NK Inc. will run away on that Death Pony, and they'll be safe with just that steal. Now 3 turrets to 5. The turret score a little bit closer than it was last time, and the gold lead now only 3,400.
Yeah, it brings it back to almost dead even here. So it's all going to be about the pick and the execution of the dive here. The reason we've seen Velocity fail so many times in the team fights is because their dive has not been working. Vile Rose just goes straight to the back line. He's trying to assassinate the Twisted Fate and the Varus, but he's not successful. He can get them low, and then he's taken out. He needs a buddy back there because he keeps getting cut down early.
That could be rough for them. So Chris is now on the bottom half of the map. So talking about split push logic, because Chris knows he's a split pusher here. He's got his ultimate available. Why is he choosing bottom lane?
Because of the bear. I mean, it's pretty much as simple as that. There's such a huge map objective that's up right now, and it's in the top side. So if you can bring people as far away as you can from that objective, then that would be the ideal solution. So generally late game, a lot of the split pushing does happen in that bottom lane. Now we say NK Inc. doing the initiate this time.
And he just pushes in eHamda, who has to flash away. The Dravenel comes by as well. Hirishin in the middle of that with slicing Maelstrom and Zonius. Chris tanks the ulti and everyone else backs out. Hamda finds the kill. He is on a rampage right here. Arcsy Slash taking a lot of damage though. And there comes the ult from eHamda into the back, finds Maple Street. He's going to fall over, 2 dead so far from Velocity. Hamda Zonius is going to take so much damage. Will he fall over? Double kill now here for DK Beta, and Hamda survives, and so does Go Zero. Only Arcsy Slash has fallen, and now it is a 4 versus 2, but a lot of low health bars.
Wow, we saw it once again. Vile Rose was the only one in the back there. He just gets collapsed on by the entire Salabar team. They blow him up. That was after NK Inc. had done the initiate and had to pull out already. Received way too much damage, but Ghost Zero and eHamda again going just completely nuts and then getting out with sub 50 HP each.
All right, so right now you've got just the teams holding on and split pushing and farming minions. Let's check a replay of that last fight.
All right, let's take a look once again. This is an initiate by NK Inc. He's going to get the Shen ulti on him after he takes this much damage, but he still is going to get blasted down. The AoE from Kennen too much. He has to leave the fight. So that leaves Vile Rose all alone over there. Thresh Box setting up their defensive perimeters here slows down Maple Street, and so they're able to lock him up, take out that huge damage source, and eHamda not hesitating to go back in. That beautiful Twisted Fate secondary engage and use of the Zanyas. Just really strong play here from eHamda.
So I want to point out some of the kill scores here because we basically talked about the two hard carries there, right? eHamda and DKBnet were going to be the ones going crazy and picking up the kills. And you look at that, right? 5-1 and 10. I mean, you just look at the team fights. You know eHamda goes ham. 11-4 and 5 for DKBnet. That guy is massive.
Yeah, he is firing some big arrows here from the back lines. You have to worry about him. And since eHamda has that Zhonya's, we're probably going to be focusing the VES first in the next team fight. There goes eHamda once again.
He's going to find the sun on a Maple Street, but here comes NK Inc. The slicing Maelstrom comes across. Maple Street falls over. They're going to go on back for this one. Who's going to take the damage next? eHamda still in the middle of enemy champions. He's going to pop the Zhonya's. Valro's in a rough spot. Hamda just surrounded, though. Can he go down? He does. Chris finds that one. NK Inc. forced to run away. GhostZero gets a knockup. He's going to fall over. Now Chris in the middle looks for DKBnet, but he's kiting away. That VES will not go down. The pull comes off as well from Arxie Slash, and there's the shutdown. Now only Valrose and Evaniscus are alive. 2 versus 4. Again, TSB has control.
So this time, Valrose was actually one of the few to survive the team fight, but that's only because the rest of Salazar gave up their chase and went to try and protect their leader, eHamda, as he was stuck in golden form. They weren't able to get him out, but they completely win that fight, taking the first turret down and moving on to the inhibitor turret. And
there they go. The minions are gone. The Hirshin forced to face tank this turret right here until the next wave shows up. Valrose is trying to keep this turret alive with Evaniscus, and they actually do a good defense right there from Velocity Esports. But, I mean, this game, it's crazy because the fights, I keep coming back to it, but it still baffles me. The Salazar have been winning fight after fight after fight. The gold lead, less than 2,000.
You can see that eHamda taking into consideration the difference in global cooldowns here. Every time he's able to burn his Twisted Fate ultimate for a secondary time for the second engage there before Chris was ready with his. Now finally that longer Shen ultimate is up and they would be able to answer here, but just a really good job there by eHamda with another engage, and he actually got Maple Street with the gold card this time, which is exactly how they want to start him off.
So that is what they're going to look for here in this one. The ult from TF almost available. Evaniscus manages to spot out GhostZero and Hirshin. Does have a plant there, a couple of wards as well. And they're just trying to drop these down. Of course, Oracle's on GhostZero. They are trying to control Baron right now. So is it Baron or is it a turret that's the next move for Salazar?
Salazar are going to split push down here bottom because, like we said, the shorter cooldown of the Twisted Fate means his is back up. He can't get the entire distance all the way from where he is now up to Baron, but he can walk and get pretty close here. The rest of the 4 members can delay them long enough at Baron that they can buy this Lich Bane Twisted Fate time to just murder turrets.
All right, there we go. NK Inc. though is looking for this the Baron area right now. eHamda calls out, I've got a free turret, and he does right there. That has gone down, trying to wave clear, and he doesn't quite one-shot the minions at least, but he does deal really good turret damage overall. He's heads up against Chris right here, so the 2 split pushers at the bottom side of the map and a 4 vs 4 everywhere else.
Yeah, so you can see how his item choices, you get a little trade-off here. He doesn't go death cap, so he can't one-shot minion waves with his wild cards, but he got the very important Zhonya's, and then following that up with Lich Bane for tower damage on Maple Street caught.
They have found Maple Street. They did, in fact. The map quest worked for him, but here comes Chris in the middle of everyone. Will they turn back on this one? NK Inc. shows up. Can they get the damage up? But Arxie Slash low on health. Evaniscus, though, he's going to drop down. This fight looks to be a disaster for Velocity right now. Kill after kill after kill picked up. Only Chris is alive. He finds himself a kill on the GhostZero, but that is an ace and a quadra kill picked up for TSB.
Velocity constantly shouting, Karthus, please ult now, because every single team fight, Salazar get out with at least one person in the double digits of HP, but this time they're going to get an inhibitor turret off of it, and a completely one-sided win right there as they get the ace.
I'm pretty sure a level 1 Karthus could have cleaned up that fight. He doesn't even have Requiem, and he's like, no, it's fine. I just am Karthus. Those kills would be mine. So, Salazar does walk away with an inhibitor to themselves. They're recalling back. So why do they recall like right now instead of pushing for something else somewhere on the map? Well,
you can see all the wards around Baron kind of tip it off. They're very, very concerned about a retaliation Baron here. Good for them. They've got plenty of vision because what's that, seven wards there in the Baron. I think they've got it pretty well mapped out.
So would you say that it's more than just a supporter's warding?
Yes, every single person. You can see there's even a couple green wards still in the inventories. It's not not even enough to have the Sight Stone for Thresh here. He's also picking up those single wards, and he's got the Oracles now, so he's going to be able to clear out the vision of Velocity. Having the middle inhibitor down means that it's easier for eHamda to push because the minions are going to be a little bit stronger, but he still has to be careful about getting caught out.
Okay, so right now let's take a stock of what's going on in this game. You've got a 5,000, actually 5,500 gold lead for the Salad Bar. They've been controlling the map for the last 30 minutes or so. They're trying to control the Baron. They've swept the wards away from pretty much everything here, so they've put Velocity into the fog of war. They know very, very little about the map. eHamda's pushing in the bottom lane, has his teleport available, and they're ready to fight.
This is really not a position anyone wants to be in League of Legends. When you're Velocity, you just feel under pressure constantly right now because time is working against them. They have to make a move. They know they have to make a move because eHamda is just destroying their base, and the threat of a Baron is constantly there.
There comes the Requiem. Here comes the Destiny from Twisted Fate, but he's not even trying to teleport. There he goes. He's going to leave the fight and rejoin his team as they actually start in on Baron Nashor, but the rest of Velocity are coming in to stop this.
So Twisted Fate was able to get away from the home guard Shen, but here we go, the fight breaking out.
Okay, Shen does show up on Evaniscus. Here comes the battle. RC/low and health puts down the box. Damage on the Hirshin. There comes NK pushing DKBnet forward towards the team, but eHamda has killed Maple Street in the back. He's going to find another kill as well. 2 for nothing. Goes 0 in the back line. Low on health. BNet is legendary, finding the kill onto NK as well. Chris flashing over the wall. Only Evaniscus and Chris are alive, whereas all 5 are still there for the Salad Bar, and they come and try to chase that one down, even with low health bars. They say, no, we're going to turn back. It's going to be Baron for us.
Again, goes 0, barely getting out. This Locket Shield just keeps on saving him, and he is completely tanky against armor units. Oh, it looks like Evanescus is going to have a little bit of a problem here, but they missed the shuriken.
I mean, the Baron is going down, but at the same time, Hirshin tries to get the kill. He does do enough damage. Will the plant kill? No, he Zhonya's, and that is an invulnerable cannon not going down to Zyra.
He flashed and Zhonya, so a little bit of a wasted flash there. He could have just Zhonya'd before, but he's able to get out of that. They kill him. They take off the Baron. Huge win for Salad Bar, and now not only do they have the open door to Velocity's base, but they have the Baron buff as well.
So Velocity really needs to slow this game down a little bit and catch themselves back up in gold. We've seen comebacks like this where inhibitors are gone, you're losing Barons, and you're just like, guys, let's get a 50-kill AD carry with 1,000,000 minion kills. How do you hold on to this game if you're Velocity right now?
Well, you can see that they were kind of searching for new options in that last team fight, we'll call it. They tried to make the engage when they had a slight advantage 4 versus 5 because eHamda was still walking up from his earlier escape. And that actually forced them to focus Xin Sao. And Val Rose doing most of his burst to Xin Sao, who is very armor heavy. As you can see, he also completes Aranduans now on top of the Locket. Means that most of Velocity's damage output was wasted. And by the time that eHamda got there, they didn't have really much more punch to pack. And they can't handle all this AoE damage that is coming out from the Kennen and the wild cards in their back here. Meanwhile, a Guardian Angel on DKBnet means even if you focus their ridiculous Varus in the back, he's got a secondary life.
So that's going to be tough for them, of course. eHamda still in the top lane, split pushing, the fun police indeed. Chris just trying to hold on to his own base right here as the rest of Velocity try to hold on at the bottom half. The siege still continuing here from the Salad Bar. They're pushing now onto the inhibitor, down very low on health, and they're just being nice and safe here, not opening themselves up to too much aggression.
They can't really defend an inhibitor by themselves for very long either. All that Salad Bar have to do now is play the waiting game. They've been so aggressive all game long, but now they can finally relax a little bit. eHamda actually getting a little bit too close here, and Chris gets some good damage off, but the inhibitor does end up going down.
Goldcard comes across. Inhibitor has fallen though as well. The siege is still happening right here. 2 inhibs dead. NK looks for eHamda. Is going to go in. The Zhonya's does get popped, but can NK do enough damage here? He's going to lock the gold card. Is it going to be enough as Vilerose shows up, shut down right there? They've got a 5 versus 4 on the map, but they've already burned 2 ultimates. Is that going to matter too much? The Salad Bar shows up back to mid lane for an inhibitor, but with them being outnumbered, they're actually going to back off. Velocity have actually bought themselves some time.
That was actually the best choice that Velocity could have made. They couldn't fight the straight up team fight. Best option is to blow your ultimates. Whatever cooldown you have to blow to be able to kill eHamda is totally worth it. Great play by them right there. They bought themselves a little bit of time. 1 inhibitor has respawned, so only 1 is down, and they're really just going to have to turn it into full defense mode now and hope that Salad Bar slip up. You can see that Salad Bar know this is their only weakness because of all the wards down bottom. That was really preparation for that bottom split push, and definitely paid off for them.
Okay, so let's see what they can do with this one. Velocity just trying to farm out their lanes and keep themselves, a little bit better in this game. They're down actually closer to 9,000 gold now. This lead has grown for the Salad Bar over time as they hold on to their base. With dead inhibitors, they are going to have minions flood in. There's no Baron on the map either. Is this good for Velocity just to farm it out for a while?
They have to. I mean, like we said, they got to go full Alamo mode here. And no man needs to drop. You can't give an inch inside your base, but you don't want to venture outside your base because there's nothing worth fighting for out there. A red buff, big deal. That's a little bit of true damage, some slow. That's not worth someone's life to fight over. You have to play very, very cautiously at this point because Salad Bar, 4 out of 5 still have that Baron buff.
Well, that is going to be good for them. Of course, it timing out in the next very soon. Actually, just did time out. So they are now without Baron, at least for this push. We'll see if that matters too much for them because, of course, they are still winning in this game. Top inhibitor does have a turret still there. Might not be the best place to push for them. Chris, the Shen is holding on to the bottom lane, but the rest of Salad Bar pushing up the mid lane. Again, this inhibitor, no turret there. They're looking to push it down.
Very, very dangerous for Velocity to engage without a turret. But they don't have much hope because they've already got 1 down, and 2 inhibitors down means that there will be double lanes of super minions, and the 3rd lane will shortly follow.
There we go, the inhibitor has fallen. So, as you said, 2 lanes of super minions, that is what's the case. And they just move right on up to that top lane. They are looking for that turret. Chris is still on the bottom half, but look at this. This is different from Salad Bar. They've actually kept all 5 together this time. Ehamda's not getting caught up by himself.
You don't need to split push any longer. The rest of the base is actually gone. They've destroyed everything down there, so they're all going to go top now. Looks like NK going to start it off.
He does indeed dive in. They've got Ghost there in the front, though. NK taking a bunch of punishment. Nice Draven ult comes by as well. Hirshin in the front with Slicing Maelstrom. NK is going to run away from this one pretty safely. Chris in the back lane. There comes the Zed ultimate, trying to find damage. He's been exhausted. BNet does lose it, and there's Ehamda trying to run away. Double kill picked up. Oh, this is really good for Vilerose. Velocity Esports are trying to turn this one around. Vilerose pops his Guardian Angel. They find a 3-for-0 in this battle, actually. Velocity Esports have definitely slowed the roll of the Salad Bar.
Perfectly played there by Velocity. They buy themselves some breathing room here, and they're going to have to use this very wisely because they're still very far behind, and they've just showed their entire hand. That was mainly Vilerose using his Guardian Angel there. He got into the back line, and this time successful with the assassinations. Flashing over the wall to finish off Ghost Zero this time, not letting him escape once again, was really the turning point there. But they won't have the Guardian Angel or the Flash for Vilerose next time around.
That could be rough for them, but you're just seeing Maple Street just chunk down super minions in the mid lane. They're still getting a lot of farm from these 2 dead inhibitors. Baron, Nashor, and Dragon, though, both up in 50 seconds. And if I recall correctly, they will at least be down 1 inhibitor while Baron is up. Can Velocity even challenge that?
They will, and plus they don't have the option of having Chris in their base trying to clear out minion waves because his ultimate is not back up now. There's still a minute left on this one, so there's going to be some overlap time there where Baron's available and Stand United is not. It's really going to be tough for Velocity to try and poke Salad Bar and keep them cautious enough without getting engaged upon.
Okay, that's going to be their game plan here. Ehamda, again with a blue elixir. He's looking for the blue buff as well to max out that cooldown reduction. He's got a nice bit of ability power. And let's see where they end up moving. The Salad Bar know that Baron is coming up. They're actually not even trying for Dragon, even though it's up right now. They say, no, the only thing that matters to us is Baron. 43 minutes in. I mean, look at the kill score, 32-17, but the gold only 6K different. Velocity have held on fairly closely here. Bottom inhibitor's back, mid inhibitor's dead, but there comes Baron.
Yeah, they're just going to give up this Baron because if you go fight out in the open without that turret that we saw in the last team fight, then they know they will lose. So even without the possibility of Chris coming in, we just give up Baron. We're going to try and clear out these super minions because those will destroy our base if we leave for a single second here. And they're just going to count on a second team fight being executed as perfectly as the last one. The crucial part is also going to be that Zyra Stranglethorns, which was so effective in the last fight. You have to get the lock up there, the knock up on 4 or 5 members even of Salad Bar for Velocity to really have the chance now because the Baroned up Salad Bar are going to come back extremely hard right now. They're finishing off almost everybody with 6 items here.
So I actually want to point out, you talked about Zyra in items a second ago. I want to point out Zyra's build here. She got a very early Morellonomicon, is going Sork Shoes and a Haunting Guise. And you look at the, I mean, basically, why does that work out for Velocity here?
Well, because, you know, Zyra started out as a mid laner. She's actually very effective with AP and cooldown reduction as well as that spell penetration. A lot of mid laners have actually been pretty decent supports. Zyra is definitely one of the top here. So we've seen a lot of Zyras really favor that cooldown reduction. That Morellonomicon is a very cost-efficient item to give you that little edge as support, give you some more bite without costing too much. You don't break the bank with that one.
Okay, so some magic damage definitely being added to that lineup here. As the rest of Salad Bar comes down, they're looking for that bottom lane inhibitor that did respawn. Actually, I guess the middle one is still down for a few more seconds. They're going to push down on this base. They've got the Baron buff. Here comes Chris putting a bit of damage on a Ghost Zero. Lantern comes across, make sure the team stays alive. Hirshin finds some poke, but Salad Bar so far are alive, but putting damage onto this inhibitor.
Having a Lantern down is actually a pretty good cooldown there. And that's a really big escape. We've seen the escapes be so effective for Salad Bar, able to pull people out of the fight at perfect times. And having that one down gives a little window for Velocity. But we'll have to see if they just want to give up another inhibitor once again, or if they're going to try and make a stand without the presence of a turret.
Well, the Locket Shield was just put down there from Chris. They find the inhibitor, in fact. Ehamda and crew are going to run over towards his mid lane here. The middle inhibitor is still dead for now, but will eventually respawn. That top lane, you know, last time Salad Bar fought for it, they actually died underneath the turret. We'll see if they can get the middle inhibitor and try to repeat this and maybe get some success in the base.
If they gave up the bottom inhibitor, they'll probably give up the middle inhibitor as well, and try and make that same team fight that they made at the top turret as they did last time. The only problem this time, Salad Bar, not only do they have Baron, but they've also finished some more items. You can see the Banshee's Veil on Ehamda is going to add some more tankiness to him, in addition to the Zanyas that he's been using so effectively already.
Well, right now the Salad Bar are looking to take more things from the map. The blue buff has been stolen away, and here comes the siege in the top lane. This turret is down to half health. Maple Street still trying to farm up and be a big threat here. NK Inc. is tanky as well, and here it comes. They're looking to push down the top lane.
This is going to be the standoff now because Stan United is up for Chris this time. So he's going to be doing the cleaning work, trying to hold off these minions in the other lane, while the rest of the team tries to keep all the damage off of this turret. They're not doing a good job, though. Here it comes.
Here comes the dive on in. Ghost Zero in the front. NK getting just exploded right there. Has to run away from the fight right away. Chris in the middle just falling over as well. The box comes across. There's one kill picked up. Here comes Vyros into the back. He looks for Arxie Slash and everyone else trying to now run away. So low on health. Pops his Guardian Angel, and everyone still is alive from the Salad Bar. Vyros not a good place. Flashes the wall. Ghost Zero still gets him. The shutdown kill goes over actually to Ehamda, and there goes the turret. 5 versus 3 inside the enemy base. This is looking very good for the Salad Bar.
So that was a bunch of single-man dives into the back lines of Salad Bar for Velocity here, and they definitely paid for it. First it was NK going in, trying to run away. Then Chris did his best, and now they're all dropping at the Nexus turret.
Oh man, everyone is falling over. Only Evaniscus is alive. Game 1 of the best of 3 will go to the Salad Bar, the rank 5s, also normal queue team. That's Ehamda dives into the turret, doesn't even